كل نفس ذائقة الموت وإنما توفون أجوركم يوم القيامة فمن زحزح عن النار وأدخل الجنة فقد فاز فمن زحزح عن النار وأدخل الجنة فقد فاز وما الحياة الدنيا إلا متاع الغرور.
Let me tell you this story, a recent story. I had this old friend, sheikh, and he's an imam of a masjid in the Arabian Peninsula, and I wanted to check up on him. I finally found, maybe a couple months ago, his wife's contact, and when I asked about him, she said that he's been in prison for approximately 7 years. I haven't spoken to him or heard of him in over 12 years or so. No charges, of course, nothing, just in prison. So I check up on him to see, these are my brothers that I had known for some time, and they're ulama. So I check up on him to see when he's released, or maybe someone's dua will be answered and he'll be released. And I ended up finding his son's name, who was just killed in Syria. And I had forgot he had an older son, because when I knew him, his son was just a youth, a teenager, not even maybe a pre-teenager. His son in Syria, I found out, was a teacher of al-usul al-thalatha. He's the one who used to travel around the camps there and areas and teach the young kids al-usul al-thalatha and Quran. In fact, a lot of those young kids that you see who have clips reciting al-usul al-thalatha or portion of it, a lot of them were his students. He was in a camp, they were attacked or something, I'm not sure, but he had his camera on, and I seen this footage. He went to defend and help his brothers. He had the camera on, and the camera was recording. And he got suddenly bullets that he himself didn't know about. You know what happened? As soon as the bullet stung him, he uttered ashhadu, at the spur of the moment, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammad Rasulullah. He said it maybe 15, 20 times right after, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah anna Muhammad Rasulullah. Then he began to pray 2 rak'at. No one came to his aid. I think maybe one person possibly came to his aid and ended up getting shot as well over him. And he ended up praying 2 rak'at. The camera's on recording all this. And then he said, Ya Allah, I seek refuge in you from a day that I will not spend the evening of it in Jahannam. Then he began to recite more Quran as the camera's rolling on until he died. I ask you by Allah, when one gets in a car accident, or he's hitting a nail in the wall, and the nail hits his finger, what's the first word he utters? I'm not saying bullets in the spur of the moment and what's going on, there's no one around to help him. What happens when he hits his finger with a hammer by accident? What's the first word he says? Or when he gets in a fender bender, what's the first word one says? Is it ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, or one of those words that we can't even mention in this halaqah? It's the tawheed and ikhlas. He was walking around the al-usul al-thalatha, and it's not about al-usul al-thalatha, it's about the tawheed and ikhlas in the heart. يُثَبِّتُ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا بِالْقَوْلِ الثَّابِتِ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ. If you don't get nothing but that out of tawheed, that you say la ilaha illallah in a hospital when you're on your deathbed, or in a car accident, or wherever way we may die, then that's such one of the biggest things and the best thing you can get out of tawheed. I mean, tawheed and ikhlas is what causes someone who's in prison for 20 years or 19 years to say, I feel I'm one of the happiest people on the face of this earth. It's only pure tawheed and ikhlas that does that.
his last words were La ilaha illallah. And the Prophet ﷺ said, Man kana akhiru kalamihi la ilaha illallah, dakhala al-jannah. Whoever's last word is La ilaha illallah will enter paradise. I don't know on the day that I die that I'll be able to say that. I'm just hoping that I will.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك